Hello, hello, it's Mr. Shine here from HearthstonePlayers.com. We are going to take on another full arena playthrough, and I think I'm going to go with Warrior, because Warrior is not played too often, and I think that Warrior is one of my strongest heroes for some reason. I don't really know why. Might be the luck, might be the fact that I don't know, maybe my playstyle is oriented around it. But hero ability is not too great with Warrior. Armor up, gaining 2 armor, does not affect the board. It does help delay. I think the one nice thing about it is when sometimes heroes in the arena, they sense blood, they try to make a push for lethal and burn some cards, maybe inefficiently, surprise damage and things like that. And if you have armor up, if you can survive, weather the storm, you can continue to gain armor every turn, and that can actually burn people out. But that's if people are playing wisely and know what you are, that is kind of unlikely. So let us start. Let's see what we got. So to start, we have a few good cards, Knife Juggler and Sludge Belcher being the two. I think Sludge Belcher is just a better overall card, although Knife Juggler is probably the best 2-drop minion for Warrior. I mean, a 3-2 that has that upside like that is so useful, but Belcher is just fantastic. It's so hard to get through, it's so hard to deal with. It's kind of like a 4-7 in terms of stats, but it needs to be hit twice. That'll be the one. Out of these guys, so Abusive Sergeant has some utility because of that battle cry. It's probably one of the best, as far as 1 HP minions go, for one mana, it's probably one of the better ones because it can help things trade up. But I think Loot Hoarder just has to be the one. The fact that it draws a card, it cycles, and sometimes if you're not playing a pinging class, you can get a 2-for-1 because you trade and then you draw a card as well. And even with a mage, for example, if they spend their mana turn to ping it, you get a card, you get initiative the next turn, and that's okay. Dalaran Mage, not worth. The 1 damage is just pretty bad. It's not really very good at all. Okay, so these are interesting. I think that Dancing Swords is kind of like the anti-Loot Hoarder in that it gives your opponent a card, but it does have good efficient stats. Torn Warrior, not very good stats, and that Enrage is unlikely. I think that Cruel Taskmaster is probably the best. It has good utility in a Warrior. Warrior does not have a way to deal 1 damage outside of Whirlwind and some other things like that. But I think that its stats are subpar, but the fact that its battle cry is very useful. You can kill something, you can make something else stronger. It's good. Out of these guys, I think that I will go with Bloodfen Raptor as just a trusty 3-2 for 2. Argent Squire is not a bad one because it's kind of hard to deal with the Divine Shield, but it's still, I think I would rather have a 3-2 to trade up with something instead of this that just kind of is hard to get rid of. Inner Rage, not very good. It's Cruel Taskmaster for 0 mana, but this comes with the 2-2 body. Okay, out of these guys, the one above average card is Shield Master because of its stats, which reflect its mana cost, and its taunt is not bad. Ironforge, I mean, that 1 damage, again, it's like, look at this. So Cruel Taskmaster compared is 1 less mana, same stats, and has basically a better battle cry, more flexible, can help you and hurt the opponent. So, and that's really expensive. 7 mana for something that has 5 HP can easily be removed for less than 7 mana, and they usually take a tempo loss for it. Out of all of these are all pretty good cards. I love Arathi Weaponsmith, though. I think it's a great card. I've heard different things from people. Some people are not totally thrilled with Weaponsmith. Its body is not excellent, but the fact that it has a 2-2 weapon, that's so useful. I think weapons are just great. I think that's partly why I like Warrior. I'm happy to take some face damage for the ability to get some good, efficient minions. And this is just better. I think it's just more solid as a card than the other two, but I do like both of those. These are all pretty good. Well, Molten Giant's the weakest here because I don't have a good way. I can up my armor, so I kind of can control my health, but I will be taking face damage sometimes if I get more weapons. Sea Giant is very consistent in the arena because you get a good chance generally to play it on turn like 5 or 6 or something. Big Game Hunter also can be huge in terms of a blowout if you get a chance to kill something like a Sea Giant. But I think just having the Sea Giant as the threat is better than having the counter, which may not be as useful otherwise. Even though I don't have any other 3s at this point, only went a few ways through, only 7 picks through now at this point. So Sea Giant is just better. Ooh, another one of these. Alright, this is interesting. I think, so I can Faceless Manipulator my own Sea Giant, which is one of my cards. Shield Slam is not very good in Arena because I'm not going to be planning on a control-based constant armor up. getting kind of like, it's a great card in terms of constructed, but unlikely it'll be good removal here. I think I'm going to go with Brawl. I think Brawl is a surprise factor card. People do not generally play around Brawl because it's epic, and it can totally close out a game. It can crush people if you're behind, and you can end up getting a good Brawl. So I think that's the one. All right, out of these, I think that I may Acolyte of Pain here. Warrior does not have too many options for card draw. I do have the Loot Hoarder right now. I have the Cruel Taskmaster. Maybe I could Acolyte of Pain, kind of constructed-esque there. This is a weak 4. The 2/1 is too easy to ping away, and then you're kind of stuck with a 2/4. No Wish Inventor is so much better because it can draw a card, which I would consider more valuable than a 2/1 minion as the battle cry. Frostwolf Warlord is good, but I don't think that... I think I'm going to Acolyte of Pain here. It's a little bit of a tempo loss, but based on weapons and things that you can get with Warrior, I think that that's actually okay. Get some stronger answers later. Alright, out of these guys, Abomination I think is kind of underrated. Its Death Rattle is quite good. If you are behind, it can clear a lot of things with that 2 damage to all characters. The downside, of course, is that if you have board, then it can hurt you quite a bit, and otherwise 4/4 for 5 is not too fantastic. I think that we will go with the trusty old Knife Juggler, just because it's one more 2-drop. It is a very solid 2-drop, and it can help me in the early game, which is very important for a warrior. You do not want to armor up on turn 2. That sets you back generally. And Angry Chicken, you know. Ooh, all are good. Ooh, all are very good. This one's very tough for me. I love Zombie Chow. I think a 2/3 for 1 is fantastic. Kor'kron Elite is also very good. It's very flexible, 4 damage for... Sometimes it survives, which is good value. Spectral Knight is also excellent because at 4/6 that can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. 10, I have 20 cards left. I don't have much in terms of late game yet. Do I value? I have 4 2-drops right now, which is good. Hopefully I get a Fiery War Axe or something else. Oh gosh. This is so hard. I'm really tempted to Zombie Chow because it's such a good 1-drop. I think that I'm going to Spectral Knight though, because I think that that ability, you're going to face so many mages that it can't be polymorphed, it can't be fireballed, it can't be hero abilitied by a mage. And a 4/6 is fine. That's hard. That's a really hard pick for me. Alright, this is also a pretty hard pick for me too because I love my Ogre. I love my Crusader. In terms of early drops, I don't really have any 3s. I think I will get an Ogre though. Ogre is pretty much the best thing you want to play on turn 6 as a warrior. There's Shaman, Fire Elemental, and High Mane for Hunter are probably the better 6s as far as common cards or like basic cards, not epics or legendaries. I think I will do that at this point. I can worry about curve a little bit later. I want to get the highest quality minions, and I don't have any 6s at this point either. Okay, so I can Youthful Brewmaster. What do I have? I have a Battlecry with Cruel Taskmaster, which isn't bad. Battlecry with the Wrathy, which is good. That's about it. Alpha can help buff something else. It would buff the Acolyte of Pain, is maybe the Loot Hoarder, maybe. Jungle Panther, as a 3-drop that can trade up, is not awful. It can set me up, and I already have 4 2s at this point, which halfway through the draft, or almost halfway, is okay, because I have a better chance of drawing into other things. I think I do Jungle Panther here. I'm not a huge fan of this card, but it does almost always trade up. Or at least you can wait until the best time to use it. I think that's okay. Alright, out of these guys, Warsong Commander, I actually have quite a few things that can 3 or less attack at this point with his Sludge Belcher, a Wrathy Weaponsmith, some higher cost minions that I can also combo with it. I think I do Warsong Commander. It's a bit expensive because it's the 2/3 instead of 3, but the surprise factor, I mean, charge is so useful in the arena. I mean, you don't even know. You don't even know. It's so good because the ability to make trades on your own terms is just huge. It's crushing. So I actually do think I take that, even though Direwolf, I have a lot of 3/2s at this point, so Direwolf won't always help too much. Alright, I don't have any secrets, so this is just a 2/2, a blank 2/2. I have so many options for Inner Rage, but I don't like it. I think it's basically +2 attack, or maybe ping something off. I think I will Archmage. I don't really have any spells at this point, but it has a big body as a 4/7. It's hard to remove, and I don't have too many late game cards. I might draw into a Cleave, which would make Archmage very good. There's a few things, Slam and some other stuff. Whirlwind. Alright, I'm pretty much going to snap pick Fiery War Axe, even though I do love a Wrathy Weaponsmith. But if you can get a 2-drop Fiery War Axe, clear 2 things right away, set up the early game, it helps your chances so much. Magician Warden, the 1/7, the stat allocation is very bad. You drop it on turn 4 and it just can't kill anything. You want to make sure your mid-game cards can be immediate threats, and it just delays things. And it's, you play this, they play a Yeti, a 4/5. I mean, a 4/5 is so much better than a 1/7. Just amazing. We will Fiery War Axe. Out of these, I think I will Spiteful Smith, because that Enrage, I have 2 weapons at this point, which is not that many. And Frostwolf does have a chance to get bigger if I have a lot of minions on the board. But Spiteful Smith, just the fact that you are a warrior, it demands attention. It needs to be dealt with. And its stats, I guess this has a better chance of being something bigger, as I said. But I still think I Smith. I might draw into some more weapons. Again, I'm only about halfway through. Murloc Raider, a 2/1. 1 is bad. 1 HP is almost always bad. Zombie Chow is the clear pick. These are both poorly statted. Look at this. This costs 3 mana, this costs 1 mana, this has 1 more HP than that. Death Rattle, who cares? If you play it on turn 1, they're not going to be hurt enough. You're really playing Arena for control of the board, and the Death Rattle, that 5 HP, unless I'm just going full aggro or something, it usually doesn't matter. Raider has the little bit of upside with the attacks, but it's very rare that you get a lot of use out of that. And then we have the Patriarch, which again is kind of like the Magician Warden, the 1 attack. It just delays. It takes too many turns to do anything. We will Zombie Chow, and we'll be quite happy about it. We will also be happy about the Argent Commander here. Mana Addict is a 1/3. Every time that your opponent gets to attack, it's a 1/3, because the attack bonus gets reverted. I don't think I have any spells at this point. Anyways, I have Brawl. So, I mean, I'm not going to be able to make it very aggressive, and it's just going to be so easy to be traded and get killed for free by your opponent. Cold Light Seer as well. Murlocs, I have no Murlocs, so it's a 2/3 for 3 with no real ability other than potentially hurting myself by giving other Murlocs 2 health if they have Murlocs. But Argent Commander is flexible. That 4 damage is really useful. The fact that it can immediately impact the board and survive as a 4/2 is real good. Real good. Ooh. Mountain Giant is the weakest of the giants in the arena, because you want to be playing things from your hand. You don't want to be hoarding cards like Warlock and Handlock in Constructed. And of course the hero ability for Warrior is just gaining 2 armor, so you don't impact the board anyways with it. Not a good prospect. Shade of Naxxramas is kind of like a 3/3 for 3 that you get to attack with on your turn, on turn 4 when it comes back, because it's hard for them to kill it due to the stealth. I will get another Brawl. Brawl might become dead cards in this deck, because I have a pretty good curve so far. But I still think the fact that it's there as a backup, if I lose the early game for whatever reason, or I notice I'm starting to lose and I kind of play a little cheeky and play from behind, yeah, it is the most impactful card. Alright, another situation where I have the Ogre versus the Crusader. I'm going to ignore the Footman because 1 attack, we've already talked about that. My late game consists of 1 Archmage, Arctic Commander, Ogre, and Sea Giant. My mid-early game, I have a Zombie Chow, I have a Fiery, I have 4 other 2s that I would be happy to play. I would play all these on turn 2. I have 2 3s that I would play on turn 3. I have 9 more cards after this pick that I can hope to get another 3. But I still think the Ogre is probably better. Scarlet is good with Warsong Commander. I could even use the Cruel Taskmaster to deal 1 damage to it and make it a 5/1 without the Divine Shield to trade up. But Ogre is a great 6-drop, and I don't have too much late game, and I will get another Ogre and hope that I get a better 3 as I go. Alright, we will take a Yeti. Heroic Strike is a 2-mana removal card that hurts you a little bit, but Yeti is great, and I don't have that many 4s actually. It's kind of important to get a good 4. Mid-game is really important in the arena. More Inner Rage. Another Warsong Commander. That's kind of inefficient. They're not very good on turn 3. I do have a lot of things that can play into it. Another Inner Rage or a Whirlwind. The fact that I have 2 Brawls already I think is enough AoE where I don't think I need Whirlwind, and there's not too many things that will help. I guess I could draw 1 extra card from Acolyte of Pain, and I have a little bit of spell damage with that, but I don't think that that is worth. If I'm at a point where they have a big board and I want to clear, I would probably wait for a Brawl. So we'll go another Commander and not be too thrilled. Alright. Mad Scientist is bad. I'm contemplating another Zombie Chow, and I think that's probably what I will get to get the early game going. Oasis Snapjaw. Nah, I don't really care for it, even though I don't have that many 4s at this point. It's just the 2 HP, the 2 attack is not great. And I only have 1 way to buff with the Cruel Taskmaster in this deck at this point. So it plays cleanup duty, but the Zombie Chow is just a little bit better. Alright, Inner Rage. I think someone is telling me something, but I'm going to continue to ignore that person. Undertaker, how many death rattles do I have? I have 2, 3, 4. It is still not worth it, especially for the mid-game. Core Crown Elite is good. Charge damage I talked about before is very useful. It's flexible. I only have 3 4s before this. This is the card I will pick. Undertaker, unless I was going like super aggro or something and I had a lot of death rattles, it's inconsistent in this deck. Oh boy. Okay. These are all bad. I think that 3 Warsong Commanders is probably a bit much. They're really a utility card and not something that you want to play on turn 3 generally because of the stats. I think that I will Reckless Rocketeer here as that late game charge damage. It's better than the Priestess of Elune, restoring 4 health to your hero. I can always hero power and get some armor back. It's rarely going to be too effective. I think Rocketeer. Okay. This is tough. Do I want to get the Stormwind Champion as another big late game card, or do I want to get 1 more 2-drop? At this point, after this pick, I will have 3 more cards. I have 2 Zombie Chows, which I kind of consider like a 2-drop. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the Fiery War Axe as well. I have the ability again, as far as Youthful Brewmaster has some ability with Cruel Taskmaster. It has Jungle Panther goes back in stealth. Arathi Weaponsmith gets his buff again. Argent Commander, maybe. I can heal some of these things. Will this make my early game more consistent versus getting something that is really strong and can help buff other things later? Stranglethorn and Pegger I do like. I do already have a lot of 5s. Not too many playable 5s, I guess. But I think that the early game might be more important. I'm going to Brewmaster. I want to have 5 playable minions on turn 2. I like Fiery War Axe, and I would play it on turn 2 as well. I think this will help my consistency. Okay, good. So here, I'm almost tempted to get Silvermoon Guardian, just because I have 2 Warsong Commanders, and if they survive a turn, this coming in as a 3/3 with charge is worth the 4 mana. And then I don't have that many 4s at this point. Yeah, Yeti. I have a few good ones though. But I think the Spectral Knight, it's just too good. It's I think it's just a really strong card. That's my answer. It's a really strong card. And these are both bad. This is a poor man's ooze, but it's not very good. The fact that it's a 1/2, 1/2, I don't have any way to heal. I will Deathlord. Deathlord has good stats. Deathlord could also explode in my face, but I need 3s, and it could represent a strong threat if they don't have immediate removal. I think that's a good answer. And the final card is quite good. Gadgetzan is not going to be the answer because I only have the 2 brawls. I only have the 2 brawls. This whole deck, 1 Fiery War Axe. Everything else is minions. Oh my. So curve is really important in this deck. Which almost means then the Defender of Argus might be more useful to make sure that if I have the early game, I can buff that early game. And you know, it can help with Acolyte of Pain, it can help with Deathlord, it can even help with Panther, potentially as a 5/3. Because this spell damage is going to be useless. The spell damage does nothing, so it's really just a 4/4 for 5 that draws me a card, which I do. I love the Azure Drake. I love it. Don't get me wrong. But I already have a Sludge Belcher, Spectral Knights, and Spiteful Smiths. And as far as stat points for turn 5, because I have to think about that too, it's not as good. It draws me an answer. I do have an Acolyte of Pain and 1 Loot Hoarder already. That's minor card draw. But I think if I just play on curve in this deck, I might be okay. So I think Defender of Argus is the answer. Yeah, because if I get to a point where in the early game I'm really far behind, I need to hope for the brawls to come back. And, you know, yes, when I'm behind, Defender of Argus is not good, but I'm really going to have to plan on aggressively controlling that board right away. And I think I can do it. My curve is pretty straight through. 2 1s, so I would love to have a Zombie Chow when I start the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 2s. Considering mulligans, I'm pretty much going to always need to mulligan for a 2-drop. My 3s, I don't have that many 3s, and they're more utility 3s. So I think 2-drops are more important. Maybe I can coin into a 4 or something after that. I got my Brawl as my escape. That's the escape I have. People will not expect 2 brawls with this deck. So, alright. I think it's okay. I'm so bad at predicting decks. But I think just because I don't have spells, I mean, I have two game-changing spells, and that's going to be really important, just having the, you know, pick and choose the right ones. If I run into a mage that has a bunch of polymorphs or a bunch of fireballs and keeps taking off my big threats, then I'm going to lose. But the fact that I have some high-quality minions on curve, maybe with the exception of 3, could be pretty good. Not as many weapons as I would love. But hey, let's try it, shall we? Let's see. Oh man. Oh man, okay. I'm doing a bit of stat keeping right here, don't mind me. $27 minions in this deck. But I've gotten 12 before with very few spells. Hunter. I think Hunter is... it's okay for me. The fact that his hero power is negated by mine is pretty good. Cruel Taskmaster on turn 2 is not great. I have 5, I have the 2, I have 7. I have enough cards that I think it's worth me mulliganing this away. I don't really... it's like the 1/2 drop I don't want to play on turn 2. And I have the few... I have 2 1s and then again a few 2s. Uh-oh. That's the nightmare. I still have a good chance of drawing into something. Okay, good. Don't get my Zombie Chow early, but at least I have a 2-drop. Hopefully I'll have something else that will come on curve. There we go. I will play this. I'm okay if it trades 1 for 1. The nightmare is if he has a deadly shot. I hope he goes face. I have to play in the deadly shot. I have to. Oh, maybe I don't. Will you keep a deadly shot? So if he has a deadly shot, I lose. Pretty much. I think this is fine. I'm not scared of those. This will trade for his 3-drop, almost certainly. If he deadly shots this, that's okay. It saves myself from being... oh my. That's, well, whatever. Good, I'm going on curve here. And I will trade. Would he have deadly shot that? Probably. Trading, yeah, I'm just trading. That's fine. 3 mana for 3 mana. And now this is very difficult to deal with. I will continue to stay on curve here. Alright. So here, I think Spiteful Smith might be a little better than Spectral Knight. Well, his turn 5, he could have his Explosive Shot. Or I bust this out now. Because I wonder, would he have Deadly Shot before? 3, 4, 5. This would trade. My turn 6 can be this or this, and armor. So if he gets something big, I could counter it. If I do this right now, I trade and drop this and armor up. He can't get through. He can't run one of his 1/1s into this. So actually Deathlord might be useful here. This is turn 5. The alternative is, of course, playing Spiteful Smith. If I do this, yeah, I do this, he hits one of these, kills it. He has a 3/1 and a 1/2 that taunted. Yeah, I think this is probably fine. He could Explosive Shot this, which is a rare. He kills this and he has to trade everything. Okay. That's also okay. Kind of surprised. He's spent another spell on that. The nightmare is if he has a high main on curve. High main on curve would be a pain. Would he have... I don't think he has a Deadly Shot. I think the way that he's been playing, I don't think he has one. And I will do this to... It's one of the best 6 drops, and I don't think he has a Deadly Shot. That's basically it. Because I think that there were opportunities before for him to use Deadly Shot to pretty good effect. Good. He does not have a beast. Alright. This might be good. I'm getting a little low. So this might not be the end of the world here to taunt up. Plus, I have the Argent Commander to run into that afterwards. So that's okay. Other alternatives, I think I get rid of this because it's just a threat on the board. He does not have a beast, otherwise he probably would have played it there. This is the one thing that I can clearly kill right now. And then later I can protect with the Sludge Belcher. Yep. And let's armor up. Turn 8. I will most likely either Argent Commander or Kor'kron with something else. Maybe I'll get something else to drop with those. I have one other Ogre. I have a Sea Giant. I have another Spectral Knight. Oof. That's good. Oh, and that might not be enough. That's too bad. Can't expect that because this will get buffed to the point where it will be stronger than my Elite can handle. That's too bad. I wonder if Spectral Knight and Zombie Chow beats the Commander. The Commander is not that good right here. And I'm okay to trade 2 for 1 with this. I have the cards. He does not have the board. Spectral Knight will take 1 more charge and 1 of these. And the Zombie Chow, the Death Rattle, is useless here. Maybe I Spiteful Smith instead of Spectral Knight. Because it's almost certainly going to eat that weapon anyways. I guess I have that Fiery War Axe, I have the Wrathy, but I don't think that it's likely that I'm going to get too much value from it at this game. And I don't think I can afford to let this live, sadly. That Gladiator's Longbow was quite useful there. Doesn't really matter where I put this Alright, turn 9 I can do these. If I need to, I can use Archon in a pinch. These oozes have survived this whole game. I feel like that's kind of good for me. The fact that he does not have something immediate.
The light protects me. Mind if I roll need?
Go face? Oh, yeah, that's right. That makes sense. Oh, that's good too. Maybe I do this because the Kokron can be protected by the Shield Master. Shield Master pretty much shuts him down here. That's actually probably the best play. It's a little mana inefficient, but I think that I'll be able to kill that, and bring this up so he'll have a 1-1 and a 1-2, and I'll have a 3-5 taunt on the board. The downside, of course, is that I won't be able to play both of these in the same turn. So is that more useful? The answer is probably no. I think Argent Commander can be real useful later, and this can just shut him down. So I will put this on this side. That's the if he has an explosive trap. That's the least useless thing, or useful rather. Explosive shot rather.
Put this apple on your head.
Oh. Oh no. Brutal. Yay. Yay! That's... Oh! Okay. That's amazing. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. But that has to die. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Oh, good. Not out of the woods yet, but I'm feeling better.
Try this.
Oh no, the death rattle. Alright, so I have a much better board position and a card in hand and the armor, but I'm going to be taking a lot of damage. So let's see if I can stabilize here. That's fine. Not scared of that. In the slightest. So that's going to trade, and now I'm going to be able to start controlling board. So even though I'm low, I'm in a better spot. And that is even better. Alright, we'll clear, we'll clear. And here we go. I have 10 HP and an ogre. Versus whatever he draws. And this in the back, which is always good. The Fiery War Axe still. Well, that sucks. But that's good, and I think that is worth me going down a little bit of mana. No. I'll go down to 5, but he can't use a beast in the same turn. I need to stabilize the board.
I'm ready. I'm not ready.
Alright. Now we pray. So I'll always armor up. I will trade this one because he can't explosive shot this one. Which means that I'll also put this over on this side. So he can't, there's no way that he can explosive shot that. Good. So here we go. I'm definitely going to continue to play things. And I'm going to trade this one because, again, 3 HP can't really be... If he uses explosive, it'll survive. And this will be on the far side. Strength. Alright. So now I should win unless he draws a Ragnaros and gets lucky, or Deathwing, or some way to remove. Okay, good. Win. Those are always scary though, getting down like that. But that is the benefit of course, having that hero ability. I have a bunch of minions that are high quality, so hopefully I can hang on. And I did. Let's do one more. I like having a lot of minions. Arena's great with minions. If you can get the board and keep putting things on there, that's nice. When you only have minions and they get the board, then it's really sad because you can't do much. They're just kind of screwed. In fact, it's one of the more depressing times when you're facing like a priest that has like 4 minions and you're just like, everything I throw is just going to get killed. Hopefully that does not happen here with seclusions. Man, I have like 7 2s and 1s, but I want those really badly, and I want a fiery war axe, please. Please, fiery. There we go. That's good. Got my curve. Although it's too bad that my Brewmaster... Oh, thank you. This game, I'm already feeling pretty good. Look at this. Turn 1, turn 2, turn 3, turn 4, and maybe that at some point. I could maybe bring that back or something. Oh, I'm afraid your 3-2 is quite inoperational because I have a fiery war axe. I am so sorry. So sorry. But I'm not really sorry at all. Also, Spectrum Light is great against a priest. Not like they can do anything with a 4 HP minion anyways. Bloop. Bloop. You passed your turn, and now you face my wrath. If you drop a Yeti, I will kill it and have a 4-2. Actually, I can just buff things even more. Ooh, no, can't do that. Turn 4, I make this a 5-3. The downside of this one right here is that if I trade both of these, I fall into the trap of Holy Nova. And yet, if I buff this, this 6 damage is not enough to kill it. So I'd have to use the Jungle Panther, bring it to a 5-1, and this, and have a 3-4, which is still okay. And I think I still will do it. But I guess my point is I'm not quite as thrilled. I could run these 2 into it and then coin out a Spectral. And then my turn 5 is off curve. So, we will do this. And maybe he doesn't have a Holy Nova. Who knows? Even if it has... Actually, at this point, Holy Nova is bad. Because it does not kill these 2 things.
You gotta be kidding me!
Alright. So that card, I actually wonder if it is even worth me trading it. The downside, of course, is it's a priest. And if he like runs into this and heals us back, it has 3 HP. The thing is, as a priest, and then the fact that I already have a lot of board, it's actually kind of bad to keep this around. But the alternative is I can just Arathi Weaponsmith, trade these 2 into it, and then still have commanding board. And that might be safer against a priest. Turn 6, he could use his Templar and make this like a... Oh no, he can't, because this thing is hurting his board control. And also the fact that he can heal after this by trading to that. So he could have 5 HP and he'd be able to get a 2-for-1 anyways, but he'd be down in tempo. I'm still going to... I'm going to trade. Against the priest... Against the priest it's worth. You want to control the board as much as possible. You want to... Yeah, 6 cards in hand. I mean, I have cards. I also have the ability to brew this back. Or brew this back. And play it this next turn. And that can be huge. Or I can play the ogre. I have a lot of options. I think just getting the ogre out is better. Staying on curve as much as possible. I would be fine trading this and that at this point. That would be okay. Yeah, I'm going to stay on curve and I'll take a little bit of damage and survive. I mean, he's almost dead right now. In fact, if he does not heal, he is dead if I can brew this back. Okay, that's fine. Shadow or death? No. Interesting, okay. So if I trade here, I trade this and can brew back.
What now?
Could brew that back, costing 6 mana. And clear that. And then I have a 6/4, which means he doesn't have a Shadow Word Death. Which is still, I think, again, I will clear the board. I will be able to juggle. And he's still in lethal. I mean, he's still dead if he doesn't come back with it. I don't think I play this because he is dead on board. Not many ways to get back from that unless he like Holy Fires that. I don't need to give him one other answer. I don't really know what that would be, I guess. I'm just going to save it. Maybe I should have just put the Zombie Chow down. Alright, Holy Fire. I'll gain 10 HP, but he'll still be down by a whole bunch. I am low on life. But he is in a much worse position. I guess he could Archive Soul Priest and Circle of Healing. What if he has another one? If he has another one, then he's going to use that on the Zombie Chow again. That's okay, I will do this. And he's right back in the same spot he was a second ago. I should mention I have not been playing around mind control tech. That's okay. Against, I mean, despite the fact that he had multiple times to encounter it. Oh, Argus right there in the middle. Maybe. No, he'd be dead anyway.
Embrace the void.
Don't use circle. Okay, good. Good. I took a lot of face damage in that game with some weapons, hitting that ventricle, for example, but I figured it was not worth giving the priest any chance of board because my game plan relies on having board the whole time because all I have is minions. And if I give him even one opening, I mean, as unlikely as it might be for that Harvest Golem, for example, to have really swung the game, it is still why take those chances? Why take the chance that he could buff it, hit something else, survive, just get a small margin of an advantage that he can exploit? Because if my advantage is gone, I am lost. Excellent. Got a 1 and a 2, and I go first. That is wonderful. I will get rid of the brawl. I've not needed those brawls. They've been kind of a get out of jail free card that I've not had to use. Hopefully I get a Fiery War Axe. I love on turn 1 being able to, when I go first, bring out a Zombie Chow, and he mulligans everything. So that's good. Theoretically, that is good. Because since he has the coin, he could coin out a 2-drop, and I will definitely trade to prevent any sort of shenanigans. And by shenanigans, I mean Argent Protector, being able to Divine Shield a 3-2 and then trade and survive, and then you're in trouble. Okay. I will not trade into that, because he used his coin. He doesn't have a way to buff this. Even if he uses Argent Commander now, it's not as good. And if I would run into this, he'd be able to trade for the Bloodfen. Hopefully I get a 3-drop. So yes, the fact that he had used his coin, I think, makes me feel better, because I do not have to worry about a coined out play that is stronger.
I'll show them. I'll show them all.
So again, it's just too bad that I don't have a better way here, but I think the answer is definitely to trade into the 1/1s, because at least I get a little bit of advantage from that position. Like, he has to trade this. I guess the one thing is if he has a Shattered Sun, he could buff this to a 3/3. But I will not worry about that. Sadly, I have to armor up, but fortunately I have a Wrathy, which I think will be fairly good the following turn. And I guess sort of Justice would be bad, but it's an epic, and I don't want to play around epics. Best thing you can do is play around common cards as much as possible, and then sometimes play around rares. For example, next turn I will play around Consecration and trade things out if I need to. If the opportunity arises, I guess. We'll see. He also has, okay. Now here, for example, I'm definitely going to trade to avoid any sort of Blessing of Kings or Consecration. And that's just really it. So it does not get down. I guess I should have checked for that. But even that, I would use a card and it would be fine. I would have had to do this anyway. So it means it is probably... It's not Repentance, it's not Redemption, it's not... It's Avenge. It's Avenge is what it is. Which means this will become a... What is it? A 4/3. So I will probably trade both board, and that's fine. I will start with a Spectral Knight on board. Yeah. My Wrathy Weaponsmith effectively just traded 2 for 1 there. And I have board. And I have a good follow-up in terms of Ogre. Unfortunately, there's not much I can do about that. Because this and that will be trading. I think I will just Ogre And then if he wants to do this trade, I will follow up with the Argent Commander and kill it. And if he trades directly for the Ogre, well then his 5 mana turned into the 6. But such is life. And even if he would buff this to a 10, well, we'd hope that he wouldn't just trade. Well, whatever. This is the answer. You have to go face. At the very least, if he wants to get value from this, he stunts his next turn. But I don't like giving him an option, because he could have Argent Protector. I mean, this could be the turning point right here, if he has the way to support this, because I could not immediately kill it without sacrificing. I mean, I guess I could have done that, but that's fairly weak to leave a 4/2 on the board. I always have Brawl, trusty backup. Yeah, so that's brutal. So in this case, what shall I do? I wish I could... No, because this will trade for that. I think I just get the value, and I keep this stunted, because he uses whole turn for that.
What now?
I think that I may even buff that. No. This would be interesting if I do this, and then... Oh, I can't do both. Shoot. I was going to say, if I would be able to get the knife on this, I'd be able to do the trade. I still think I keep this in my hand. I think I get the value. He has to kill this anyways, theoretically. This will still work because Knife Juggler into Argent Commander later. And maybe I buff this. Unless he has a Consecration. Or I buff both. That's fine, I buff both. Make 2 threats. Keep everything out of Consecration range. And that's okay too. I'm still okay with the Argent Commander at that point to run into it. Hopefully he doesn't have another Protector. At the very least, as I said before, the fact that his mana minions cost 3 more, I'm able to continue to add things to the board even though he's getting value from it. And Brawl could have been disastrous if it missed. I'm not in a position where I'm really behind on the board in that sense. I think he has to make a tough decision too. Does he value... Alright. So he's out of Divine Shields. If he does that, he again delays himself. I think that would be a mistake, personally. I think he wants to trade this off right now, and I think he wants to put more things on the board. That's what I would do if I were him. If he doesn't get... Well, you'll see. Okay. Not a great position to be in because I'm vulnerable to Consecration right here. I guess I could Argent Commander now. I could trade this and Argent Commander. The fact that it's a 4/2 that has the Divine Shield does make it fairly weak. Turn 8, and then I have this as a follow-up. I will do that. Not hugely pleased, but it does not give him a very good target. Unless he wants to like double Consecration or Consecration and hit this, and then have 4 mana to deal with something. Granted, I don't have the greatest follow-up. I'm definitely behind in this game, though, that's for sure. I would like a fiery. I like another ogre. I have Sea Giant. I have other good late game cards. Yeah. Even that though. This man, it's too bad I don't have something else good to follow this up.
Reporting for duty.
Ah, excellent. Got 2 threats. He wants to deal with that. I mean, he got Blessing of Kings or something. But even that will die to this then. We'll see. I don't think the Reckless Rocketeer was worth trading there. I will be able to hold on to it at a later point. So at least he is continuing to be reactive to my play.
Get the best deals anywhere.
Bummer. Ooh, excellent. Boom, boom, boom. Now do I want to keep this at 3 HP and a 5-2? Hang on a second. 11. Oh, I'm so close to lethal. But I don't have it. I think I would rather have a 6-3 and a 5-2. Another Consecration would kill 1, but this would survive. So I think I will do the trade here. Korkron and face with this. It's too bad I don't have the damage for lethal. Oh no, I messed that up. I miscounted. Oh no. At least he used that consecration earlier. I miscounted. Oh, I should have ran this into that. That was a huge mistake. This should have went to the 4/4, and the Korkron should have went to the yeah. Oh, brutal. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Definitely worth going face right there to get that damage in, because lethal is represented right now. Unless he can heal or buff this or something. I will need to go as much as I can. I think I'm almost out. Oh. I think I'm... Do I brawl here? I have a 25% chance to... No, I don't. I almost have a chance to win the game. Because... Oh, man. I get him down to 1 HP. If I get the brawl that just saves the ogre, then I would be able to get him to 1 HP. If I don't get the brawl, then I'd be in a situation where I'm either facing a 3-5, a 4-6. Both of those are crippling. If I just bring the Belcher out, he doesn't have a consecration, he would have used it before. He's going to go boom, boom, this. Kill it. I'm really not sure here. I think my best chance? No, that was a mistake. I should have ran it in anyways. Yeah. Because he's going to trade the 4-6 into this, and then he's going to bring us to a 3-4. That's gonna die. This is gonna be a 4/5. That's gonna be a 3/4. Yeah, that was. I definitely should have ran. Oh no. Definitely should have. So that may have been. I probably lost the game right there. I didn't think through it long enough. Maybe we got a brawl at least. Maybe he'll just like flood the board.
Your magic shall not save you.
Oh no, it's even worse.
Reporting for duty.
Brawl time. Easy. Go face. Do I want you to go face? Oh. That's good. Alright. He burned his deck. Do I do it first? I think I do it first. Yeah, there's no point in me hitting that, right? Because potentially I could still... No giant, no giant, no giant. Oh no, oh good. Four, 5. You can't kill this. I think I wait. I don't think I run into it. Alright. Yeah, 5 damage represented from this if you can't kill that. Oh my. This could go late, folks. This could go late. I will probably lose against a Paladin's hero ability, though, if it goes late. Do I have another giant? I've used a lot of my big late game stuff.
Reporting for duty.
Uh-oh. Oh no. 6. Oh, he can't kill it right now, though. Oh my, he can't kill it. If I hit this, it's a 4/5. This becomes 5 damage, 8. This is still 4, so I won't be able to kill. So I will clear that. Which means 7 damage goes into the Death Lord. Which means this thing still survives. No, no. It's okay, though. Oh no, disaster. What card do you have? Oh no, I'm dead.
Must cleanse the Sunwell.
Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh good God.
Reporting for duty.
And alright. Oh my. 7, 10, 13. I go face, don't I? I have to go face. That's the only logical thing at this point. Card for card. I can't kill that. Doing that will just allow him to continue to trade, whittle me down. I just have to hope and get lucky at this point. What other cards are there that can do 1 damage? Not much. That was a great top deck. He's gonna get another card out of this. Or he'll do that. He'll clear me and get a card. That would be what I would do if I were him. I would clear me. Because he has the card advantage situation here. He has lower end cards here. Yep.
Reporting for duty.
Oh. The nightmare. I still throw this out. I have to. I have to just throw it out. I can't just sit on it. It's not going to do anything else otherwise. So now we lose. Unless he decides to get cheeky and go face or something.
Reporting for duty.
I don't think I really have that much otherwise that can do anything to him. Ooh. I don't think I'm going to survive, though. I still won't survive. 10-11. I'm dead next turn. Pretty much. And that has to be an avenge. So I can't go can't attack him. Unless I get some Divine Miracle card. What card do I even have in this deck that would do that? I don't think there really is anything. Unless he has a way to accidentally draw cards. Do I have another taunt? I have an Archmage. That's not going to do it. Yeah, 10, 11. Okay, I'm dead.
Reporting for duty.
Sad days. Yeah. Well, kind of saw that coming, though. Where was the turning point in that game, and what could I have done differently? I'll have to think about that. But not a bad start, though, in general. I'm still pretty pleased with it. I think... I mean, if I had the brawl would have... Whatever. It was so good. It was still good. So, okay, well, hey, I've been Mr. Shine. Hopefully you enjoyed that. We'll continue it on another time, and I will see you next time.